Okay, packing up here. One thing about canoeing, anytime I'm near water and taking my pack, I pack my pack a little differently. If I'm kayaking, usually I'll carry my waterproof bag just because of a dry bag, just because it rolls up. You can take all your gear and put it inside the compartment of the kayak. Does not have as much space as a canoe. Sometimes if I'll bring it in the canoe if I'm in rough water or a good chance of getting wet. But if you pack it properly, your pack will float. I've got my mat here, my thermarest, and I've got just enough air out to keep it rolled up. I'm going to put that in the bottom of my pack. Okay, I keep that in the bottom always anyway. So that's in the bottom. Then I put my trash bag, make sure it doesn't have any holes in it. And this is where I keep my things I want to keep dry. Like my sleeping bag. Usually I'll carry the sleeping bag in its own compartment. This time I'm sharing. Let me get my sleeping bag out here. Got my clothes bag as well as the sleeping bag. I might be able to shove it all in here. Let's see. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. Got my pillow there. Put all my clothes in. And I'm a fan of the stuff method. Sometimes you'll debate about whether to roll it up and put it inside or just stuff it. Usually it takes up less room if you just stuff it. And on these I usually create an overhand little slip knot. Can't ever trust the things to stay on there. Just tighten these up just a little. Don't need it tightened too much. Compress it downward. Enough to keep them from flopping around. And make sure all your straps are loose. Your pack. Unhook that one. Unhook this other side. Make sure it's unhooked. There we go. It's like giving birth to a yak. Make sure everything's loose. Bottom there. Loose. Loose. All right. I think it goes. Oh yeah. Easy fit. Take my rain gear, put it on the outside pocket. Doesn't matter if this gets wet. That way it's nice and handy. You can always know where it is. Got my tarp, brought an extra tarp just in case. Always good to have a extra tarp in heavy rain to put over your tent, just to give it some extra waterproofness. It's a pro tip. Heavy downpour, put a tarp over your tent. Good to know. That zipper replaced a while back, or fixed, and if it hits a certain point, sometimes it gives me a little trouble still. Work on that later. But I'm going to gather this all up, open it up here, and blow into it. Once we get it enough air, I'm going to take and twist this a few times. I'm going to tie it in a knot. Just a simple overhand knot. Doesn't have to be tight. Just has to hold a little bit. Always reinforce that with an overhand slip knot. Tuck it in. Now I can tighten all my straps. Oh. And it'll float. Okay, I'm heading back to the canoe here. Do a once over, make sure I didn't drop anything and lose it. Got my waterproof pack packed up. And I even have some heavy things in there, like I don't have my shovel or my saw. I do have my small hand folding saw, but I don't have my bow saw in there because I don't want to fall out and get lost at the bottom and have to come back with some scuba gear. But it's not very deep anyway by the shore. But I do have my Nalgene, my metal stainless steel Nalgene and cup in there with water, full of water, so that makes it heavy. And let's see, let's take a gander here. The sun's over by the boat, so let me come here away from the sun, set up on a tripod here. Roll up my pants a little bit. Got my Tevas on. Don't want to walk around here, you get a hook in your foot. And my packs look heavy, but they're not as heavy as most people think. A lot of them are extra layers of clothes and things like that. Turn them before it floats away. You can see right there. Just a floating. So it'll definitely keep you things dry in a pouring rain. Let me catch it before it floats away too much. Past this tree, it drops off. This is the actual campsite. You can see it's floating right there. You roll it over. Still floating. This is JB saying, get outside and go wild.